What is happening, car guys and car gals? Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Very early for those West Coast. Very much just a normal morning for those over here on the East Coast. But there is nothing normal about what is going down inside of the cafe today because we have a very, very special guest.
Man, we are so honored this morning to have the guest that we're getting ready to introduce. Listen, this is something that we've been excited. We got to meet this person. I'm not going to say who, whatever. We got to meet this person at Digital Dealer.
If you see,
all right,
you know who it
we
is.
met her. We met Laurie Halter at Digital Dealer. We had a great time with her. She's amazing. She is exactly as advertised. She has this personality about her. I was telling her before, when I met her, her smile was so inviting. It was like she was like, "Please come talk to me." Like, it's not. I don't know how to explain it, but she is one of those people that when you meet, you already know you're friends with them. It's like that fast. She has this like, "Hey, I'm here for you. What can I do to help you?" type personality. And it just shines through. It shines through so much. I'm so excited to have her here. She's out there. She has her own show, Carearing. I'm so excited to maybe be on that show one day. And I do know what she's doing. She is bringing the message of love out there. She's passing it around. She is a true solutionary. She's somebody that I look up to, and I'm looking forward to having her on the show to hear her story. Lou, what a great morning.
This is going to be a very incredible morning. Do us a favor, car guys and car gals.
Yes, you know the deal.
Tag a car guy, tag a car gal.
I'm doing it right now.
Invite your friends, invite your enemies, invite anybody that you know that you want to help upshift and uplift today. Amen. This is going to be an encouraging episode that is something that you need to put inside of your cup. You need to sip on this today because, folks, today is the only day you're going to get today. And you are blessed with the opportunity to have an incredible solutionary come drop some wisdom, come drop some encouragement, sip on a few solutions, brew up something for you. Because, folks, we are not percolating problems. We are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast.
Oh, snap.
And we are honored to have a true solutionary inside of the automotive industry that is not just a keynote speaker. She is a real talk to you kind of person. She will talk to you face to face and make you feel honored just that you had the moment to be with somebody that truly cared about what was coming out of your mouth, whether it was, "Hello, can I get a hug? Can I get a high five?" Or, "Man, what an incredible event we're having." She is always dropping some great information. She's bringing positivity everywhere, and we are thankful that she is here. But this message has been brought to you by our friends at Dealership Toolkit.
Love them. Great people up there. I love them. Rich, Liz, thank you so much for being partners with us. We love you. We appreciate you. And, man, we're excited to bring the show, and it's been brought to you by Dealership Toolkit. And it's going to be a good time today. We're excited to share this story, hear this story, know the path of righteousness of where she came from to where she's at now and where she's going. It's going to be amazing, man. What a great morning.
This is going to be a 5-liner you will not forget.
Do not forget.
Let's go ahead and just get this party started. We have the one, the only, Miss Laurie Halter.
Can I just have you guys introduce me everywhere I go? I think I'm just going to pay you to be my hype man, and I'll just go everywhere and you can introduce me.
Done.
Cheer.
We're in. Yes, that is what we love doing.
That is what we love.
We're best at.
Yeah,
I know. I love it. I love it.
The keynote speakers that are out there, we believe that they would have so much more fun if we can go ahead and get that crowd charged up for them.
Absolutely.
We would much rather do that than really even have our keynote spot, right? I would much rather talk about how awesome Laurie is and the fire you're about to bring to the mic than I would like to talk about.
You guys,
maybe
this is your whole new position. This is a whole new thing. Listen, everybody out there, the hype men for the shows. This is like the future of the Car Guy Coffee podcast trip.
Well, what do you think?
Show everyone.
That's so funny you say that, because when we went to Digital Dealer, I told Lou, we're going to go here. We're going to put on such a good show that everybody, we're going to set a new standard. So that's what we want.
Alyssa Cavaruso, Melissa Green, Matt Ramirez, listen up. They need to be your next.
Wow. You hear that? You heard that. We heard it here first. That's happening. We appreciate the love so much. We're excited to have you here this morning. Folks, it's 5:30 in the morning where she's at right now. I love you. Thank you for being here and sharing this with us and using this time, because I know how precious time is. And for you to come here and do this in a time where normally most people would still be either or barely getting out of bed to drink their coffee, you're interviewing. Look at you smiling. You're in a great mood. She's ready to go. She has her cup of coffee ready to go too.
I do. I have my boss lady.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm so blessed and honored to have you here. So we're going to make sure we have a good time this morning. Folks, make sure you go out there and you share this. Tag some car guys and car gals onto this. Let people know that we have a superstar in here, somebody that can uplift you and get you excited about your day, and also give you an idea of where you can start somewhere and get to somewhere by putting the work in. And that's what it's about. It's about putting work in, putting work behind the faith. If you do that, you will grow exponentially. And that's what she's doing. And I'm so excited to share this story.
So excited.
Thank you.
I'm excited about all the people that are joining us this morning. Charles Higgins, Facebook user.
Hello, Charles.
Let me see. DJ is up in here, making sure that we get ready to forgive, focus, and fly. Folks, these 3 F's are ultimately the one thing we want to make sure that you take with you from any of the podcasts that we have. Each of the Solutionaries that we've had the honor of being able to be in here and interview have applied these principles inside of their life, whether they've known it or not. And these are the things that we want to see you do inside of your life. And that is apply 3 F's. Make sure that you wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. You focus on what it is that you want to do, can do, and where you're going. And you stretch out in faith and you fly. And you do not stop at that point. You continue to keep growing, growing. And Laurie, that is something that you have been the personification of. And that's why we are brewing solutions with you. We honor you, and we're so thankful that we get the chance to do this. But let's go ahead and do this one time here in digital land. And we're definitely going to do this again when we're all together.
Yes.
Whatever event we have you at again. This is going to be so awesome. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
Okay, let's do it.
Cross your arms with me. On 3, everybody, let's forgive, focus, and fly from the East Coast to the West Coast.
That's right.
And all around. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Forgive.
Focus.
And
and fly. And keep growing. Keep growing. You did that money, girl. You're good to go.
See? High voice. Natural high voice.
That's right.
East Coast. See the shining sea. I love this. I'm so excited to be doing this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You just got the secret handshake in, so now you're part of the club. You're
okay. All right.
Solutionary now. We appreciate you. So Laurie Halter, Solutionary. You can add that to your LinkedIn.
Okay, I'm doing it today.
If I give you the little red squiggly lines underneath it, don't worry about it. It'll be a word one day.
that just means VIP. That just means
exactly. That's the only thing that ever will be.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, Laurie, we're so excited to have you here. We have 5 questions we love to ask everyone. And the first question is, they're all my favorite questions, but the first one is an amazing question that really gets this thing going. It really gets us to the driving point. What is your why? What drives you every single day to be the best version of Laurie Halter?
Yes, I love that that's your first question. First of all, that's amazing.
Thank you.
My why I found through, family is always first, always. But then I'm just so inspired by connection and people and relationships. That's really what I found to be my why, is just meeting, connecting, and just having that human one-to-one connection. I feel like the pandemic was so hard to get through. And then we all got to Digital Dealer, and it was so fun. And it was so wonderful to see our friends and to be able to gather and collaborate again. So my why has always been the connection of the people and the wonderful, amazing people in this industry.
Oh my goodness. And you're so right. You know, the more that you start to dig in and the more that you put yourself out there, the more people you see come out of the woodwork.
My gosh.
There's a lot of people on the same frequency, on the same mission as we're all on. It's to make this business better. It's to leave it better than we've started it, right? And you're doing that, and you're doing it with such class. And that being your why is no doubt in my mind. That's what you're doing. And
thank you.
We're excited because that's why you're special, you know, and that's why you're going to keep growing, because that's what your purpose is. You know, when you find that, we all have different things, you know, we all have many whys. Like there's things that motivate us by the moment, but there's one big great why. And to have that it's really good to know. It's good that you're motivated that way. And it's also nice to see that we're not the only ones. And there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of solutionaries, as I keep using this word. There's a lot of solutionaries out there that are just doing amazing things, not just in the automotive industry. That, you know, you may be in the automotive industry, but your message is getting so deep, it cuts through everything. It's a lifestyle. It's a way to be. It's called being a good human being, caring for others, doing the right thing when other people are not looking, have integrity, right? So, and you are all those things. I appreciate
Thank you. Well, and haven't you guys found that the more that you connect with people, the more they're open to connecting with you? Like it's just kind of this ripple effect of, you know, going outward. And our industry is
it.
a really cool time right now where
Right.
I think due to the pandemic, everybody just feels that way and they're all looking for connection. And so we're just at a really special time in our industry.
Very special time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pumped up because this is a very special time for us. Fred, we have Laurie Halter on our show.
No, it's so
I feel like
Cheers to that.
yes, it is.
Cheers to you.
I mean, this
Cheers.
I mean, we put goals out for ourselves. We have these hopes. We have these desires to be able to connect to some incredible people that are doing great things that we learn from.
Absolutely.
The even better, the cream inside of the cup is that you're more genuine than even is portrayed. More of the person of honor that's making those connections. That's a core piece of who it is that a solutionary is to us. That's at the center of our core values is honor, and honor begats honor. When you give honor to other people, it brings that honor, of course, back to you. You're right.
Yeah.
You give. The
I love that
word
word.
says
You
that.
said begats.
Right.
Is this guy using George Smith over here?
We're going deep on a Friday.
When he said that, I had to look over. I'm like, look at you. Look out the dictionary while he was on vacation and started studying it.
I've read a Bible or two, right?
No, but I love that. I love that because, like Carrie Wise has said, that she always wants to be 100% better in person than she is on social. And that just speaks so. It just resonates with me. Let's be more genuine in person than we even are online, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really love that you're saying that because I think it's so true.
And it is true. And what's fun is that there's so much more to that person than what you're seeing here on the screen, right? What you guys can see is that my legs are underneath the table dancing like crazy. Right? It's like I'm like a dog over here wagging my tail, but you don't
Really
see
is.
that. I mean, they're like going nuts, right? And I can't really, I'm not even touching the floor to tell you the truth. My chair hoisted up so high so that I look.
He's literally dwarf on golf right now.
I'm over here swinging my legs, right? But
he looks tall.
I do. I hopefully I do.
Well, that's all that matters.
I was the taller one. I'll take that one. But no, the actual person that you are at the moment when I first saw you at Digital Deal, I was like, it's right. Hey, you know who I but I
of course I knew who you were.
And I wanted, and then we went in. I walked around the table. I didn't even come in to really greet you right, and then I got to greet you better a little bit later. But I was like starstruck for a minute. I was like, but you were prepping to get ready to get on the stage. Seriously, you were getting ready to get on the stage, right? You were about to have your time. You have these incredible other elite women inside of automotive on the stage with you. I knew you were in your zone doing your thing. And I was just like, hi, you know, and the thing is that you were warm, you were real, you were genuine, but you could tell that you were walking in a way that just displayed honor. And that's what's been bringing the connections to so many other people. We've been able to speak to other people by way of honor. And I believe that is the way forward for our business. When we start to honor our time, we start to honor our commitments, we start to honor our clients, honor our relationships, and then honor our competitors. That is where there is true growth inside of industry and change, when we really learn to honor each other, right? I think
I totally agree.
Needs to be applied into the political realm. This needs to be applied into any field where people deal with people.
I totally agree. And I say this all the time. I think if you get past the business relationships, so the idea of competitor, client, to me, those are all just relationships, right? And so they're all just people that we're working with and different people that you can relate to in different ways. So I don't really believe in competitors in automotive. That may be kind of naive, but I just think they're all just people that we're trying to find different ways to partner and work with. And that has served me really well. I mean, I'm friends with all the other PR owners in the space.
I love it. I love that you're thinking that way, because that's how I feel.
Right.
I totally feel like there's no, and I think that in today's market and the way things are going, like you said, with coronavirus, it became even more evident that people just want to help uplift each other. There's plenty of room for all of us to work together in this business.
Totally. This industry is huge. There's no need to
there's plenty of dealerships and different things that we can do to help, and people and salespeople alone. There's millions of them. So we can really help out and do the right thing by just being better and just trying to show people the path and helping each other do that, encourage each other to do that.
Absolutely. And just think of how many people move in this industry to different, I can't tell you how many accounts I've gotten from someone moving from one company to another and then saying, hey, we really loved working with you. We're bringing you back on at my new company. So really like this whole relationship aspect and honoring like you're talking about honoring the person versus the whatever title or role they have in your world is just going to come back to you like tenfold.
Amen.
Right. The key inside of that is just like you said, it's honoring the person.
Yes.
That no matter what the role is, the title is something that we put on ourselves anyway. Right. I believe heaven looks upon us with a whole other title than sometimes we even go into getting. And you having a heartbeat that has, you know, the care for other people has made it to where it's very easy for you to honor others, and that honor gets reaped. You start to see that inside of your life. You start to see that. I mean, you're on the Car Guy Coffee podcast.
I mean, I've hit the big time. I've hit the big time here.
But you're on here because you're a solutionary that truly honors. We can have some guests on the show, some people that know industry things and are really good at doing stuff, right? And you're good at those things too, but you honor well. And that's what we want to do, is make sure that we honor you, but also help people understand the path a little bit more. So I'm going to get to the second question on this spot and ask you, what brought the great honor of having Laurie inside of the auto industry? What brought you to this industry?
Yeah, so my path is very different than most people's. I've been in this industry now 20 years, which is so crazy when I think about it. I started in 1999 with Chrome Data, which is amazingly still around in the industry. But I was at actually like a job fair. It was after college, and I fell into the automotive industry. So I was at a job fair. I needed a job. We just moved to Portland. And I found this kind of speaks to what we're talking about. So I met this amazing woman at the fair. And she worked with Chrome Data, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. And she said automotive. I'm like, I have no interest in automotive. But we got to talking. I was interested in her, so we got to talking, and they actually ended up making a position for me at the company, because she said, look, I just love everything about you. We're going to teach you everything you need to know. And so I was doing really well at that company. I was like moving up the ladder. Within 3 years, I think I'd gone from like marketing assistant to marketing programs manager. But there was always something inside of me that thought, I just want to work for myself. And it became louder and louder and louder. And even though I loved the job and I loved the people and I was moving up very quickly, I just had this voice in me that said, this isn't right. This isn't what you should be doing. And so finally, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I went and talked to my boss at the time, who was and is my biggest fan. I just had a call with her yesterday, in fact. So cool. And I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but I just am really having a hard time. I just have this inner calling to be an entrepreneur and to work for myself. So this amazing woman, I'm going to call her name out because she's amazing, Phyllis McKenna, said, look, here's what we're going to do. I love you and I want you to succeed. And so I'm going to lay you off so you can get severance, and we're going to become your first client. And I left that January, started my agency, Charisma Communications. They were my first client that allowed me to really take the time to get into the industry and get the clients. And the rest is history. And I still work with Chrome from time to time. Like, they'll still reach out and ask me to do things for them. So, and actually my boss at the time at that job is now a writer for me. so I now have hired him.
That's amazing. He saw that. And that's kind of why they did that for you. That is so neat. Isn't
that so amazing?
That is honor. That's just honor. This word keeps popping up, and that's what they did. They honored you. You honored them right back, and it's amazing how you can do that, and one hand shakes the other, especially if you actually honor those things.
Well, and how amazing of the spot. Like, I always think back to her for being so selfless. It wasn't at all at that point. It wasn't at all about what's best for the company. It was about what's best for Laurie Halter. And I've never forgotten that. Like, that, it was just so, I'm so grateful to her for what she did for me. So that's, So, and then
grateful to her too. Right. I mean, because then we wouldn't have the Laurie Halter that we have today. Maybe we would. It'd be a different version of it.
Maybe I'd be like a mean, bitter old version.
No.
I seriously doubt that.
No danger.
But it definitely would. You never know. Your path might have went completely different. A way that made longer or whatever. But that is so amazing. I've been fortunate to be around some really good people that have been, leaders in front of me and that have showed me the way, guided me. And I've had some leaders that were like trying to reject me too, like trying to basically hold you down. Like they didn't like you to be better than them type stuff.
Yes.
And it's a shame. And it's great that when you can find people out there that want to encourage you, lift you up, and help you get out into the world, that is true legacy, what they left.
I agree. And I speak about her all the time. Like, it's almost become a joke between us. She's like, oh my God, stop saying my name on all of these podcasts. Like, I just think it's so wonderful and special what she did. So I'm never going to stop saying her name.
That's right. And that is, again, why we honor such great solutionaries like you that know how to properly give that credit to those that have helped them get where they are. And again, we can what if for days on what could have happened if somebody didn't open the door for you. But I'm a firm believer in the word, and I believe strongly in understanding that your gift makes room for you. So it doesn't necessarily matter if that one person was there at the time for you to get that opening. I believe that heaven's going to open the gate for you to ultimately walk through no matter where you get. And that's a kind of peace that you operate in that helps you to weather the storm.
Yes.
Right? You're asking to jump into a storm as an entrepreneur, right?
Yes,
very little anchors, right? And sails and winds come in all different ways, and you are navigating that, but are also learning how to operate and rest in the boat. But it's awesome that somebody was able to sow that into your life.
Yes.
And then
very early. At a very early age. Like, I was 23 when she did this for me. So I mean, just very, very early, someone showed me how to help another person and how to set someone up. And I mean, I owned my own agency at 23, so so just at a very early age, it was a great lesson.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. They saw something in you and they knew it. They looked at you, and they were right. They were right on the money. And that's so cool. People recognize those things, and they recognize traits early in somebody. When you do, help them, pour water on it, fertilize it, help it grow better, make it stronger, and then, educate, and then allow them to go fly. Let them fly and try to see what they can do. And that's what we do with our children. That's what we do with our people that we're leading. Eventually, hopefully one day you're leading them, right? And they're writing for you, right? And that's what's so beautiful about this business. And that's what's so beautiful about the people in this business. If you really help cultivate them and you teach them and you educate them and then you put them out there, I promise you they're going to do really amazing things. And that is what we as leaders need to understand. That is how you leave a legacy on this planet. That's how you're able to feel like you've accomplished things. You don't accomplish things by how much money you got in the bank. It's great to have money in the bank, don't get me wrong, but that's not our accomplishments. We can't take that with us, but what we can is leave a memory on this planet. Leave your name in people's mouths whenever they're talking about how they got to where they're at, how they were able to do things. And when you can find those people, which you've been able to do, and then you can honor those people, keep doing it. It's a beautiful thing. And we all need each other. We all help. No one does it alone. Everyone's had somebody that's helped them along the way, or people that you've helped along the way, which helps you. It's crazy how that works, but the more you give, the more you get. So no, that is amazing, Laurie. That's amazing.
I love amazing. Some Alex Flores, amazing. But I do want to honor those that we also have a great relationship with, and that's right here etched on my chest, right? Is Think Ad Group. The incredible.
I love the Think Ad Group.
I love Think Ad Group too.
Talk about amazing people. Justin and Evelyn are like the best of the best.
Solutionaries all day long. They're
certified.
I consider them great friends. I'm so honored that I can literally pick up the phone and they'll talk with me anytime.
They're amazing.
Good people. I tell you, Evelyn is probably, we started our show, but she discovered us. I always tell people that.
She's our Diana Ross.
She's the one who said, Fred, I really love your show. I'm taking notes. She kept giving us encouragement. Then she started connecting us with people. She started getting us, hey, you should have this person on your show. She was doing all these amazing things that she did not have to do. Love Evelyn. She discovered us. I'll always say that she's the one who discovered our show and really helped us.
Cool. And it's what we were just talking about, right? Like just people who have helped you along the way. And they really are. When you meet Evelyn and Justin, they really are. They just give so much from their heart all the time.
They do. Justin's a trip. I love Justin. He's my brother. When he gets to drinking, though, that boy gets wild. But that's what I want.
I like the wild boys.
I like it too. It was fun. He's more fun that way. We kind of got a little taste of it with the think tank that we do every Thursday night, and he'll get to drinking. Well, we had our show last night, or we would have done it. But I love them so much, and he's a trip. Evelyn is just an amazing heart.
Those
She
two
has
are
so much
awesome.
talent inside of her. She doesn't even
Oh my
realize yet.
gosh.
She has so much still to give to this world, and she's going to keep doing it. I'm excited for their future. They have a lot of big plans coming up.
Yep.
Man, this show's about Laurie Halter, so let's
That's
keep it
right.
moving.
I can talk about Evelyn and Justin all day, though. I love those two.
So can I.
Wonderful.
So can I. They're amazing, and I'm so glad that we all understand that. We all see that inside them. I think they realize that now. I think they're starting to get that confidence aura about them. I love it.
Yeah.
So there's big things. We have Evelyn coming on a show in a couple weeks too. So it's gonna be the first time she's been on a show because she finally said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Trying to
You know why? Because she went on your show. She said she felt so bad. She was like, "I know that I said I wouldn't, but I did Laurie's show." So I was like, "Well, you're doing my show now, Evelyn. You have to." Okay. So I'm excited. I'm excited that she's coming on, but I'm glad that you had her on the show because she's a superstar, and she's
awesome. We had to laugh because I'm going to give away a secret of hers that she's probably like, do not tell people that. She was in a closet at the time, and we were dying because we're like, this is so what this show's all about. Like, you're literally in a closet to get away from your children to have this podcast. Like,
Carearing, that's it.
It's so crazy.
That's hilarious.
But that is hilarious, and it is so factual and amazing.
It is true,
and that's what I love about her. She's definitely she does everything. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a career person, and she's an entrepreneur. She's everything that you can imagine in a person, and she does it with such grace and such style, and she does it with so much passion. It's crazy.
Yes, I agree.
Speaking of passionate people, thank you so much for all you solutionaries that are in here and are passionate about keeping it consistent, contagiously confident, upshifting and uplifting. Thank you so much, Chris, for being in here and cheering us on. I don't know what we were saying, but come on, somebody. We were saying it good, having fun with that because you threw that.
Yes!
Own it. Jay, thank you for being in here. We appreciate you, brother. Folks, if you want to know more about what Jay's got going on, give us a shout. We can definitely let you know what's happening with some of those dealer mobile leads. I know this guy right here. He says, hey, thanks for joining us, right? And we got Michael Larkin. Thank you so much, Michael, for being
hysterical. Say my name.
Say my name.
I love it. He says, CGC approved. Yes, no doubt. You know it. And then we got, of course, Mr. Prayer leader himself, Daniel Gomez. Gosh.
Daniel Gomez inspires. What an incredible speaker, brother, friend, and an encourager. He is definitely somebody that's not afraid to swing his prayer sword.
Wendy Reeves, beautiful people. Wendy Reeves.
Thank you so much for joining.
Love her too. She is a ball of light, and I appreciate you all for being here.
Agreed.
Man, it's going to be great. I'm ready. This whole week has been amazing. We're getting ready to go on a boat trip this weekend, Lou and I. This is actually probably 2 years ago. We didn't have a boat trip last year, but 2 years ago is probably where I came up with the idea of, hey, I want to do a podcast with this guy here. And it was that boat trip we went on. It was so much fun. There's a picture.
We didn't stop laughing.
There's a picture of us, and I'm wearing like Glenn Lundy's Rise and Grind shirt. He's in. I can't remember what shirt he's in, but we're laughing so hard. And a picture was taken by our owner, Tony Molito, and he jokingly called us Cheech and Chong, right? But it's because we were laughing literally the whole time. I remember it was like that night we were on top of the houseboat, and I was on one side or the other.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Lou, and he knew what I was doing, and we would laugh our butts off from across the thing.
That's amazing.
I don't remember what the saying was that week, but there was something that we had.
No, there was a few things. A few things.
We had something. It was like little jokes.
Rambo.
Oh, dude.
And
so like a bromance was happening. Is what
We've had a bromance for 20 years. We've had a bromance for 20 years, but it was like, we both work at two different stores. We still hang out quite a bit, but it was just something about that. And I was in the middle of a big growth thing. I mean, that's why I was wearing the Rise and Grind. I was going into like, hey, I'm trying to elevate my life. What am I going to do? How can I help this business? What can I do? And I was like, I got to do it with this guy. This is one of the guys that I know I can count on. This is the guy that I know has the same energy, who will put forth the same work. But enough about us. Let's get back to you.
No, I love it.
That being said, question number 3. The third question. Now, this is one of my favorite questions also.
Okay.
So that
I have a feeling all 5 are the favorites, right?
They are. They're amazing. The favorite part is that you're just here. So that being said, my third question is: there's been people in our lives that have really helped us. Whether it be our parents when we were young, help us learn how to become things. An uncle, a best friend, your first boss that helped you and say, "Hey, go out and do this." Who has been one of the greatest mentors of your life that's helped you make the biggest change?
Yeah, so I kind of answered it already, but I'm going to say Phyllis McKenna again, just because she helped me get started. And then, like I said, I am still friends with her to this day. Like, we had to laugh. She lives in Portland and I live in Bend. And I thought she comes into Bend from time to time. And I called her. There was a woman, I don't see her often enough, so There was a woman in a restaurant the other day in Bend, and I was like, that better not be Phyllis, and she better not have come here without telling me, because I hadn't heard from her. So I like surreptitiously called her cell phone, and I was like, if that lady's purse starts ringing, it's Phyllis, and she's going down because she came to Bend without me. So anyway, it was not Phyllis. She picked up and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you in croutons right now in Bend? Because I'm going to kill you if you are. And she was like, no, I'm in Portland. But it was so, we had this great discussion, and she just, after she started me on my client path, you know, after she helped me start my own company, she really checked in. And the thing about her is she checked in, but was like, how's your family? How are things going? How are your kids? I have a 13 and 15 year old. She mentored me in every version of my life. So not just career, but like how to be a good mom, how to be a good wife, how to be a good person, how to be a good partner. You know, I'd be having issues with work and call her, and she'd say, well, let's go to lunch. And over lunch, we'd talk about like, you know, all the things that was happening at 25 or 30 or 35. So I've had this very, very influential, inspirational, encouraging support system through my entire career and my entire time being a mom. She was at my wedding. She came after the birth of both my children. Like, she just has been a part of every beautiful thing in my life. So yeah, I said her to begin with, but I still think she just has been such an integral part of who I've become.
Then that's amazing that you have that. You know, I call that mine is Matt Damos. You know, and
yeah.
And Matt Damos he's still part of my life. He's somebody he's actually still one of my leaders, and I still look up to him for advice, you know, and he's been one of the greatest mentors. Long story short, my father hasn't been around for like 20 years. So I don't know. I guess I naturally look for father figures. I guess I don't know.
Right.
I try to be one of the best I can be too, you know, and
yes.
to see him in the way he is been with me. He's been my best friend. He's also been just a great person who's always encouraged me to do things like this podcast. He doesn't sit there. He could literally be like, dude, just a waste of your time. Why are you doing that? You know, you need to be here at work doing your job. But instead he's like, dude, keep doing it. Keep growing. Man, I love it. I love where you're going with it, man. You got to take risk in life. You got to take advantage of these moments. I see he's proud of me. And I'm proud of him. And I love what he's about. He's raised a great family. His wife and my wife are great friends, you know, just like Lou and I, you know, it's very similar, but Matt's been a mentor. You know, Lou is obviously a mentor too. There's no doubt. Me and Lou, we feed each other. We make sure we lift each other up.
Yeah.
That's a brother, right? Matt's kind of like our father in a sense, you know, and it's neat, even though he's only a few years older than me, but he's older.
Yeah, he's probably at home like, hang on now, boys.
There's no doubt, right?
How old do you think I am?
Yeah. Right. But I absolutely love the guy, and you know, and I'm really lucky, and it's cool that you have that too, and that you've had somebody to be able to keep speaking with, talking about life situations, about your family, about your kids, about health problems, you know, all these things that they can give you advice because they've had those years, you know, and they've been able to do these things, and you can gather those things and take it. Now, some things you might hear and be like, it doesn't make sense, but I'm going to move on.
Right.
But there's other things that you're going to be like, whoa, mind blowing. That's a great idea. So.
No, completely. And I think the beautiful thing about the people so of course, you know, we talk about our why, like my family's my why, my husband, my kids. But the beautiful thing about someone taking an interest in you outside of your family of origin is it just shows you that there's so many people who care about you. So many people outside of the people that have to care about you. And I think that's a wonderful lesson, that there's people outside of your family and your immediate kind of friend group that want to see you succeed and are willing to do whatever it takes to help you get there. So I love when people like that are outside of your family of origin, because it really shows us all that, you know, I say this all the time about like our friends of our kids. I'm like, I think it's so beautiful they have a village of people taking care of them, because it's teaching them that there's all kinds of people that are looking out for them.
Yes. Yeah. And it's true. And to have trust in people, you know, a lot of times we get like we put our guards up and for some reason it's unneeded, you know, and I think that we do that too much and we miss out on opportunities to learn something, to love something, and to have fun with something. Right.
Totally agree.
And that's so it's good that you're raising your children that way, understanding that. But that's because you had good experiences, you know, and be able to express that and say, hey, look, you all need to have these same experiences, because it takes a village, you know, it takes people.
Absolutely.
You know, we can't all do it by ourselves, and it's beautiful to have other people who can complement what you're doing and make it better, make it easier for you. And you know, that's amazing. I love that. That's great.
The thing that I love, well, I mean, is the word love inside of all that.
Amen.
Is that this is lathered in love. Right. There is an entire flow of concern of your well-being that that gives you the empowerment to accomplish incredibly great things.
Yeah.
Perfect love drives out all fear, right? It's still inside of the best-selling book of all time, the Bible, right?
Yes.
Saying that love eliminates your worry of understanding your identity because you're firmly identified in being loved. You can accomplish so much more when you know that you're loved, whether you accomplish it or not.
Absolutely. Like you're loved for the person you are, not for the things you're achieving. I think that's such a beautiful gift that we can all give.
And that's the other part there, man. So is that it is a gift.
Yeah.
So it is given.
Yeah.
It is wholeheartedly given. You can't receive that back. And when it is surrendered and given, it does reciprocate. So the thing you want to do when somebody gets you a gift, right? You show up to a party, you give somebody a gift. They don't know, oh, I didn't know you were going to give me a gift.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you feel obligated to give them a gift, right? When somebody gives you, you want to give them. You want to find a way to bless them. I don't want people coming at the table, right? People were just saying nice things. I'm trying to throw all the swag I can at them. Gave us a smile while we're in the middle doing live shows, right? We're throwing stuff right at their head.
They hit at least 5 people in the head. I was like,
watch
I like it. I like it.
It was funny though. I loved it. I think they had to.
But they were given love. And because they were given love, you want to give that love back.
Amen.
And that has not only opened doors for us, for you, for many other people, it has actually made mountains turn into dust under our feet because we weren't afraid of being misidentified in the success or the failure of our function, right? You've had many, many different lessons, many people that you've talked up, probably many defeats that have made you even more of a warrior in doing what it is that you do for other people to carve out their own path. My question to you, Laurie, is what has been one of the hardest lessons you've had to learn in getting to where you are today?
Ooh, I love this. Okay, you're right. I do love all 5 questions as well.
You're all favorite.
You and I love all the questions. So
now you get why I say that.
First, I will say I don't believe in failure. So defeat is a great word because
Mm.
failure, I believe in failing forward. So this is the idea of like, if you have learned something, if you've learned that's not the way your path needs to go, then you've never failed. So that's the first thing. It's like, I don't believe in failures, but I would say one of the hardest things, I remember in 2008, we had gone through like the crash. Automotive was crazy. I don't know if you guys remember, but like we were getting all of the OEMs were getting bailouts from the government.
Oh yeah.
And I had built up my team to 5 people and 5 account managers, and I had to let them all go in order to save the company. And we went overnight from quite a bit monthly to like, I went to 10% of my monthly income overnight, just because we had all of the clients that were leaving. And so I think the hardest thing that I've ever done is letting those people go, knowing we were their insurance. I knew all their kids. By this point, like we were talking about, I knew the employees well enough that I knew their families. I was an integral part of their lives. And so I knew what it was going to do to lay them off and to have to let them go. And so I think I came back from that time, and I actually only work with contractors now, because I remember saying, I never again want to be responsible for someone's livelihood. It's just so hard and so here's the great thing though. This is the relationship part we were talking about. I'm still good friends with all 5 of the people I let go. And what I ended up doing was helping them find either, a lot of them went out on their own, which is so cool. I was able to help set them up with new clients. And then a lot of them moved on, and I helped them find their next position. So that's what we're talking about with the relationships. I'm still in great relationships with all of those people. But I would say that's the hardest thing that I've been through in my career is being in charge of someone's livelihood and having to let them go for no fault of their own. This was more financial back in 2008. So yeah, it remains one of the hardest days of my life.
Man,
to go through that.
What a crazy year that was. It was a unique year.
So
I can imagine, I was actually in the right business at the time. I was in staffed events where dealerships were like, hey, we need some help. So they would hire us, we'd bring advertising, and they would spend a little bit of money, and we'd go in there and we'd jumpstart their week or their month,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
we were like booked left and right.
I'm sure you were like gangbusters.
It was a very unique time, cash for clunker mailers, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And it was so unique, but it was really, wow. I didn't expect that. Like it was like the complete opposite. I was like, okay, business is about to slow down.
Yeah.
And then it was just like every dealer called out, even ones that we, did maybe once a year. All of a sudden they were like, hey, I want to do a couple.
We
and
need to do like, yes.
right. We need something. I
You
need to
really
get my
were,
team
you're right.
excited. Yeah, they were real nervous, and I get it. It was a crazy time. A lot of dealers.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dealers that disappeared during that time, much like last year. There was
That's
a lot of things.
Oh, and the pandemic is like very much the same. I'm happy and proud to say I kept all of my clients through the entire pandemic. And I think I cared more about the people than about their business, than about keeping their business.
That's why.
That is key.
See, lessons learned, and that's beautiful. And
Yep.
you're doing some amazing things, and you're going to just keep growing. I can't, these pandemics, these situations in life that happen, there's nothing you can do about it. There's a thing that when you have no control over something, let it go. What you want to focus on is what you have control over, and that's the relationships with your clients. That's those things. How you feel about your day, how much work you put in, all these things. Because you can't do anything. Just like I can't be Lou, so I'm not going to worry about how close can I be like Lou. I'm going to be the best version of myself. I love that you're learning that you learn these lessons, you're sharing these lessons, and that you apply these lessons. And that is the key. That's why you never lose, and that's why you don't fail. You fail forward because you're learning, right?
Yes, I don't like the word fail. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and she was talking about a situation she's going through, and I said, look, stop beating yourself up. Now this is not the way you want to go. So the question is, what do you want to do next? And start focusing on that, because this is this part is over. You've found what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? That's such an exciting time. If we can change our mindset to it being an exciting time, you're finding out what your next goal is going to be, which is so awesome.
That was crazy, because that's exactly the mindset I had when we shut down dealerships. I was like, now it's opportunity. It's opportunity for me to educate, learn more, do things that I couldn't do before.
Change it up.
Even spend more time with my family, which was beautiful. I did as much as that as I could, right? We had nothing but each other in a house. So we did it, right? We hung out. We hung out quite a bit. We caught up on old movies and shows. And we talked about life. I went out and we did a lot of fishing with my son, played a lot of basketball. Literally every night. It was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was scary, but I moved forward from it and I learned from it, because here's the thing. The whole world was going through it. It wasn't just me. I can't say, oh, poor Fred. Oh man, life sucks. No, the whole world was going through it. So ignore that. You can't do nothing about that. What can I do? I can love. I can grow. I could do all these things. So, and I did my best to do so. And that's why we're at today. And that's why we're able to have this conversation with you today, because you wouldn't know us if we didn't put that work in, right?
That's
and I'm
true.
so excited about that.
True.
It's true. It's very true. Life happens for a reason. Just got to make sure that sometimes you retrospect and realize bad things were actually not that bad. They were actually great, because like a failure, because without those, you wouldn't be where you're at. You wouldn't have learned that. I love this stuff. So
I love that you replaced an F word, which is what we've tried to do, right? There's so many F words that are out there. And we try to, and sometimes we catch people off guard if they don't really know us, and we say, man, we're going to apply 3 Fs. This is what's going to go down. But you replacing failure. And I love that because ultimately, like we said before, you were doing it. You were saying, hey, you got to forgive that. You got to wipe that junk off. You got to get it off of your shoulders and get focused.
Yes.
Get focused on where it is that you want to go. Get focused on what it is that you can do, and stop being held back by the thing that is back there. It's back there.
And even better, get excited about it. Like, I love change. I love change. I love growth. I love when people are in the middle of like major life events, because instead of being scared, it's like, can we just get excited? This is so cool. Like, where can you go with this? This is so cool to think about it in this way, so
that's right.
I'm all about change.
Yes. And I love that you threw that up there. That hashtag being adaptable, right? This is so much of what has to happen for Solutionaries to be able to keep going forward. You talk about how you had to face people that you understood their families, you understood their finances, you understood that in some respects you were the source of that flow to them, right? Ultimately, the father's going to make sure they're provided no matter what, but you were that person inside of that moment that had to make that decision to look them in the face, tell them what you had to tell them, and then go forward and still be prayerfully, hoping to see them succeed later. And setting the stage for them. Again, we're going to go back to honor, but that's being one that does look at the problem and says, okay, well, we have to adapt. We have to
Yeah.
find a solution to it, because we
Right.
can't just sit here in the problem, right?
Yes.
You can't sit in the mess and expect it to clean itself, right?
Yep,
It has
exactly right.
to be brought a solution, and we honor that you do that. For all of you that are out there, the key thing that I'm feeling inside of everything that she just continued to put out there, though, is that she does still love with honor. It makes her incredibly adaptable no matter what. And I love it. I honor that. And man, I can't wait for you to get to this next question.
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, Lou and I, we have these things. We have 5 core values, and we've touched on all this. First one is love, and you'll see that there. Second one for us is faith.
Yes.
Third one for us is honor, right? And then there's adaptable. That's the fourth one. And our very final one for us, it's being consistent with all those things, everything in life. So those 5 core values are really big deal to us, and you are hitting every single.
I love it. I love it.
You are. We call this part of. If you can hit these, this is our solutionary manifesto, right? And this is literally this is the 5 core values that takes to be a certified solutionary all day. You are a certified solutionary.
I love it.
Sharing this, you know, we've heard your why. We've seen why you got in this business and how you got to the next level. We've heard the people that have mentored you. We've talked about the greatest failures that have helped you elevate and things that you've learned. The biggest lesson from that, right?
Yeah.
But we have not heard your greatest reward yet. What has been the greatest reward from all the work that you've put in through all these things that you've done up to this point? Because I know there's some greater rewards that are going to happen one day. They're coming to you. I promise you they are. But what has been your greatest reward up to today?
Okay, well, first of all, Car Guy Coffee Podcast is like, you know, the pinnacle. Let's be honest. This is my greatest reward of all time. As much as I joke about that, I do really feel like I am. I love that you guys are talking about like God putting you on a path, because I have felt for the longest time. If you look back at my journals from 20 years ago, I feel like I was put here to inspire people, and specifically women leaders, and encourage them and tell them that they can move forward. So the great thing about this is through automotive, through my work in automotive, through the women that I've been able to hire and mentor, through my career, but then also now, you know, a year and a half, I started the Carearing podcast, and I'm now writing articles about women. I have women that are reaching out to me who I don't know, looking for mentorship and encouragement. And so I think my greatest reward is seeing that from 10 years ago, if you look at my journals, I'm like, I need to do something with women. I need to show them how amazing they are. And it's here, and I'm doing it. I'm seeing the steps, and I'm seeing the things that are happening in my own life that are being opened for me, that are allowing me to, you know, the keynote speaking, that all of that is a piece of the greatest reward, which is showing women, specifically women leaders, that they have such value, and they're all so amazing. You'd be amazed the stories I hear, or even on the other side, the women who don't think they're doing enough. And so I really, really feel like I've been put on this earth to like be encouraging and to tell them to keep going, and that they're incredible. So I think the greatest reward is seeing that come to fruition right now.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that.
Give it up.
Oh, give it up for Laurie Halter. You know the deal. Listen, seriously, that is exactly what is needed. You have found a great path to go on. I know that's just the beginning of everything. Raising women up leaders in this business is needed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're trying to do right now. We're just trying to do our little piece. You all don't need us men helping you. Don't get me wrong. But there's not enough men doing it. And this is why I want to do this. And that's why, if you haven't noticed, our episodes have been nothing but beautiful, amazing women doing amazing things in this business, that are leaders, that are showing people the right path, doing it better than 99.9999% of the men. And I love that. And it's true. You know, last night, April talked about having this deep empathy, right? And that's something that most men, and I hate to say it, we don't have it, or we don't have enough of it, or we don't use that intuition enough to be able to help us, guide us through things. You know, I've been very fortunate. I was raised by a strong woman. I have a sister. I have a strong wife that's an amazing woman too. That's just completely powerful, holds me down. I would not be where I'm at without my wife or my mother at all. Period. Hands down. I wouldn't be half the man I am today. But you know, so having strong women in this world, in this business is needed. The more, the merrier. And I'm looking forward to watching it change. I know that it's getting better, but it's still not enough. So to have you out there careering them and helping them get to that level, no pun intended, but But the same thing you're doing some amazing stuff, and we have noticed it and we have seen it, and we are excited that you're here. And women in this business are lucky that have you as a leader, helping them learn how to lead or sharing other leaders' stories, right? So you're doing some great stuff. People love you. I love you. I'm excited to see where you go the next 5 more years. I can't wait to see you again. So I got to ask real quick, what other conventions are you going to go to this year?
As many as I can.
Obviously, I want to do a follow-up one of these. We want to do a live one with you sitting by us. So
yes.
we eventually going to redo this.
I'll be at driving sales. I'll be at digital dealer. I'm super bummed I just missed the PCG event, the Brian Pash event. I had serious FOMO from that. I wrote to Denise, head of PCG, and was just like, oh man, I'm having big FOMO. I should have just gone to Napa with you guys. So no, but I'll be doing those. I'm looking into the Kane automotive event, Kane Friends and Family. So I'm going to go to as many as I can.
You should, and because you definitely uplift those areas, and you need to make sure you reach it because people want you there. I know I want to see you at every one of these events that we go to.
I'd love to see you too.
Yeah, we're going to be at a lot of them ourselves, so we're excited about doing it. We're going to be doing a lot of emceeing, a lot of corralling, getting people excited about the business and ready to make a change.
You already heard Laurie say it, folks. We need to be out there. Being the hype guys, handing out the hype, making sure we get everybody fired up for the fire that these incredible solutionaries bring.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2 words to you guys right now. Yes. Dance mob.
Yeah, we're working on it.
You already know.
Working on
it's all, that's happening.
I've always wanted to be a part of one of those, just like be in the audience and all of a sudden people just start going.
You're gonna set that up. Kimberly's showing some love to you, saying good morning. You guys are so inspiring as a woman in a male-dominated field. This is awesome to watch.
Thank you, Kimberly.
For what you do.
We're making the change one person at a time. This is going to be a human dominated, right? Because I honestly believe that, it's not about men putting women in power positions. It's about women putting men in power positions one day, right? And that's what we need to talk about. We need to see more of that. There's a lot of amazing women out there. Laurie Halter, we are so fortunate, and we love that you were here today. Thank you for honoring us with all your beautiful story about your past, who brought you up, all these things. I'm so glad I learned all this because it makes me love you even more, Laurie. So I'm so glad that we had this. I'm glad that you had a great time on your vacation last week. Lake Tahoe, is that where it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Tahoe. It was amazing.
Gorgeous, beautiful.
That's a whole other show, right?
That is a whole other show. That's something that I definitely want to make a trip up that way one day. But I'm glad that you got to enjoy that. You deserve it. So I'm glad that you're back. You're ready to work because everybody needs you to do that because we need you to help raise this business up. We need to get it shifting and moving, right? So we appreciate you. What a great morning this has been, folks. Oh man, I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to go off and crush the day.
Yeah, this is already a victorious day in history because the Car Guy Coffee podcast and an incredible car gal jump up on here, bless the mic, bring some true heat. Speaking of incredible car gals, Jackie Grillo. Love
her.
Morning, Jackie.
Cheers.
Cheers,
she's a
Jackie.
coffee lover too, so we gotta love that lady. Yeah.
All-time favorite people. Yes.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
What I want to make sure all of you get out there, male, female, alien, I don't care what world it is that you're from, what the limitation is that you think is in front of you. Look at people like Laurie. Look at her story. Look at the values that she pours out. Put that inside of your cup. Take it with you. Sip on it. And when you're done sipping on it, refill the cup. Refill yourself daily with these people and their positive mentorship for the masses. She's out here helping massive amounts of people, whether it's from a stage, right here on the podcast, wherever it is that she goes,
just sending out a message. She does amazing things. She's loving on y'all people.
Take those notes. Be the person that ultimately you're created to be, and continuously unlock that potential inside of other people. You will feel so much more uplifted. You'll feel more enriched being who it is that you are when you start to see things unlock inside of other people. Whether you've been doing this for 20 years or you've just got your business started as a 23-year-old, getting ready to help people break down doors inside of their own business, it doesn't matter what the limitation is. It's only a limitation if you believe that it is. Make sure that you apply these 3 F's. Forgive, focus, fly. You listen to whatever Laurie is talking about. Make sure that you read whatever she is writing about and apply it. Don't just read it. Live it. Apply it. Put it into action. Honor greatly, because we are honored.
We are
to have her inside of our industry and brewing solutions with us on the podcast. It's been so So great to have you here. Thank you.
I love starting my morning with you guys.
Yes,
Well,
we need to do it so.
well. I'm so glad you did. 5:30 in the morning is super early. I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tough for me at 5:30. So I honestly want to thank you so much for giving us this time in the morning.
Oh my gosh, it's been my honor.
It's been our honor too. We look forward to doing more conversations with you. I look forward to collaborating with you. Can't even say that word. Collaborating with you one day, right? We're gonna collab, and when we do collab, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. I already know it because there's a synergy already. I can feel it.
Yep.
So I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to see you in person again. I'm gonna give you a big old hug.
I know.
I won't be scared this time. I won't
Yeah.
be like, I won't.
Yeah, don't be scared. Just
I'll
come on up.
but I won't be scared.
Literally, if I'm talking to someone, just come up behind me and give me a big bear hug, and it's all gonna
All right, awesome. We love you for that, and that's what you are. You're just a big love bug, and we appreciate that. And we're excited. We're excited to grow with you and watch what happens, folks. One more thing before we go, I want you guys to understand something. How long you been in the business now?
21 years.
21 years, folks. Understand it takes consistency. That was that's our last core value, but you have to do it for years. People always think when they come in a year, now you have great ideas and all this stuff, but put the work in behind it, folks.
Yes.
Sometimes you're like, oh, no one's listening to me. They will. Keep putting the work behind it, but you have to be consistent.
That's
be
true.
consistent, just like Laurie has been. And I promise you, if you do that, you will have a career that you could look back at, be able to share, be able to tell people your story, be able to help other people lift up into this business. But you have to put the work in and make sure you're consistent and be just like Laurie, amazing. Right? I love you so much. I appreciate you for being here.
Laurie is spreading some great fruit out there. She's eating of the fruit that she sowed seeds years ago and is now still seeing fruit-filled, seed-filled fruit come forward. And it's right here. We are better because we've had Laurie in our life and people to look to like you in the auto industry. And we are calling all of you to raise up. So Solutionaries rise, not just the Car Guy Coffee podcast, not just all the other incredible people that are raising up the flag, but you individually, the one watching this, the one hearing this. It is your responsibility to take this and do something with it. We do want to edutain you, right? We want to make sure that you have a great time, but we want to educate you, give you a little bit of something that you can put inside of your cup, energize it, but you got to feel it. To have these connections going forward, you got to feel it.
Just a little charisma.
A little bit of charisma.
I see what you did there.
I'm very good at that kind of stuff. Right? Well, we appreciate you. And, in all jokes aside, you do have a lot of charisma and you have a lot of things going for you. We're looking forward to seeing what happens. I can't wait to talk to you again because I know there's going to be new stories.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Oh, man. Well, you have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. It is Friday. It is the 16th of July, folks. We are halfway through the 7th month of the year. It is the year that's going to change your life. So make sure you take advantage of every moment. Do not waste it. Wow, what a great morning. I'm Ferlin Arts, a subprime hero, and I'm here with my brother,
Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy, and we have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast with the incredible, the one, the only,
Laurie Halter.
And for those that are wondering if she is or she is not, well, folks, she is 100%
CGC approved.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and check us out at carguycoffee.com. If you want to listen to some more incredible solutionaries, make sure that you go listen to the podcast, download it, share it with your friends, and continuously upshift and uplift. Thank you so much for brewing with us today.
Thank you so much.
We love you all.
We love every one of y'all. But before we go, really quick, I have to just say, don't forget, at the beginning of next month, Lou and I are going to be in Myrtle Beach at the Unfair Advantage Automotive Mastermind Group. The whole setup is going to be amazing. Tracy Meyer and all them, you see this right here. Please come join us. If you're in the area and you have time, it's a 3-day event. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a group of people just changing it up, trying to do more. It's all the way on the East Coast, so I know it's a little bit different for some people, but come join us. We're going to have fun. We're going to have our podcast set up. We're going to do some moderating while we're there. It's going to be a great time. We're pumped up. We are part of the media sponsorship. We're excited about that, and you'll see us there. And then at the end of that month, we'll be at the NIADA, folks. So make sure you reach out for us because we're going to be excited. San Antonio, let's go.
Yes. So excited. Thank you again, Laurie, for spending some time with us. You are an incredible solutionary that we honor and can't wait for the follow-up. It'll be exciting for all of you that are doing great things today. Go bless somebody, make somebody smile. Have a great news meeting wherever it is that you are or aren't, and keep brewing solutions. We love you all. Out.